Lisa Clark, and this is my YouTube channel, Therapy Art for You. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button for me. It helps me be able to create more content for this channel. And I've been enjoying it so far. I'm brand new to YouTube, but yeah, it's been fun. So in this video, what I'm going to do is a how-to video, and I'm going to go over graphite pencils, how to hold them, what the numbers mean on the pencils, what set I use. I'm also going to go over the papers. Everybody wants to know, what paper do I use? So I'll go over the ones that I like. There's two that I really go to for graphite drawings. And then I'll go over erasers, the different erasers that I use. So yeah, this is what this is about. This video is about how to use graphite pencils in a drawing. I have a lot of experience in graphite pencils. I've been using them for decades. It wasn't until I moved to Mountain City, Tennessee, where I met Christy Dunn and Johnson Center for the Arts. Great group of people there. But Christy, she saw some of my graphite pencil drawings, and she kind of encouraged me to maybe step out of my comfort zone a little bit and try something different. And so I did. And over the last few years, I've been working with polychromos, color pencils, soft pastel pencils, pastels themselves, the chalky pastel, pan pastels. I've just been, and acrylic painting. I've even been getting into some acrylic painting. So I will never forget her. She encouraged me, and I will never forget her. Just a great person. So I hope I can encourage somebody else, pay it forward type of thing, you know. I like doing that. I like helping people out. So yeah, that's what these videos are going to be about. I will try to drop a new how-to video probably once a month. But in between those how-to videos will be my series videos, which right now, currently my first series, how to draw a snowman, is currently available on my YouTube channel. I believe there's 2 more videos that still will be becoming public here in the next couple days. So yeah, it's been fun. But my next series is drawing a tiger using graphite and charcoal, which is another medium that I've enjoyed using through the years. So I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Hit that subscribe button. It's perfectly free. You can always unsubscribe if you just don't want, you know, anything to do with it, but it really does help me. That like button, click that. That would be great too. But anyway, I'm Lisa Clark. This is Therapy Art for You, and this is how I use graphite pencils, and I hope it's helpful to you. Thanks for watching. Bye. So we'll jump right in. This is the Strathmore Vellum surface. It tends to be very smooth, and it is a good quality paper. So what we're going to start with is my graphite pencils, and we're using that vellum, like I said. And I'm going to start off with the HB pencil. Here I'm showing you how the HB reacts with the vellum. Now, mind you, I'm not putting a lot of layers in this demonstration. I'm just laying down one layer of a particular pencil number. And I'm showing you here the best way to hold the pencil, not at the end like this, but up a little bit like that. And it gives you actually more control over what you're laying down on that paper. As always, you'll find the description has all the links to all the materials and supplies that I'm using in this video. This is a 2B pencil. It is not a lot different than the HB. I'm not really sure even why I chose this pencil for this demonstration. But that's how that lays down. You're going to see it's a little grainy. The B pencils tend to be that way. The B pencils are a softer lead, but they do give you darker values. But this is the 4B. I moved up to like mid-grade on the B side with the 4B. And again, kind of grainy, but that's not a big deal because you can blend it to get rid of some of the grain, and you can put more layers of pencil on it. Now on the vellum, I will say in my opinion, it's a little limited to how many layers you can put down. And then here's the 4H, which tends to be my favorite pencil. It's a lot smoother. It's a harder lead, and it lays down pretty smooth on the vellum as well as the medium, which we'll be showing here after this vellum demonstration. So there you can see the 4 different kinds of pencils I'm going to use during this how to use graphite pencil video. Now I'm just going to lay down, actually I'm going to show you the scale, the basic scale of the numbered pencils in a graphite pencil set. In the middle, you're going to find that there's an HB. And HB is equivalent to like a number 2 pencil. This is the center of the scale. And I would suggest, if you're going to start out with graphite pencils, or even if you're used to graphite pencils, I have a scale that I leave up. I wrote it down on a piece of paper with my notes, and I kind of leave it up on my desk so I can just look at it real quick and decide which pencil I want to use. I don't know. I don't really memorize this stuff. I just use a scale. I have notes on each kind of paper so that I can refer to it really quick. So on this side of the scale, we have the 2B, 3B, 4B, 5B, 6B, 7B, and 8B. Yes, it goes a little further than that. For this demonstration, I'm just going up to 8B. And then on the other side, we have the H pencils. So 2H, 3H, 4H, 5H, 6H, 7H, and 8H. And again, it keeps going off that side. Also, good to note here, in some sets of graphite pencils, you will get a letter F, and that just stands for fine, like a fine tip. And generally speaking, on a scale, it would be on the H side, the first H before the 2H. And it just stands for a fine tip. So like I mentioned earlier, on this scale, on the right, it's a softer lead. They do create darker values than the H side. And then just the opposite, on the H side, we have a harder lead, but these tend to be lighter values. This doesn't mean you can't create darker values. It's just going to take more layers to create darker values. So good to note on that. I tend to like the H side. That's my personal preference. Also, good to note here is on the H side, on the B side, they tend to dull faster. That lead is softer, so it lays down more lead, I guess, and you'll have to sharpen that pencil a little bit sooner. On the H side, they dull slower. Maybe another reason why I like them. I can go a little bit longer without having to sharpen them. So anyway, this is a 100-pound vellum Strathmore, and yeah, it's good to note. Have this scale handy for you. You can look at it, make your notes on it, and it's a lot quicker to refer to. Instead of trying to remember which pencil does what, you can just glance at your scale and know exactly what you want. Here I am using a blending stump. Again, I get almost everything I get is off Amazon. So yeah, it blends pretty good. Like I said before, the layers are kind of limited on the vellum because it's just so smooth. There's not a lot of tooth. So you'll see that. You just got to experiment with it. And it may turn out you like the vellum better than the medium. And here it is blending on that 4H. And as you can see, it blends out really smooth. That harder lead just tends to smooth out really easily on the vellum. So that's the vellum. Now we're going to move on to the medium surface from Strathmore. I tend to like this paper better. I use this a lot more than I do the vellum. Its ability to hold layers is amazing, and I think you'll find that it's amazing for you too. I think this is a 70-pound. I didn't write it down, I don't think, but yeah, it's a 70-pound weight paper on this particular piece. And then I'm going to do basically the same thing I did on the other one. This is an HB, and I'm going to lay down an example of the shading. For shading, you start harder pressure, but not a lot because it has tooth. You want to be able to put layers on in the future. Don't push too hard. So, and then I'm just applying less pressure as I go to the right. And then again, I'm going to show you the 2B, and then the 4B, and then the 4H. So this is the 2B. It lays down basically the same. And then we're going on to the 4B. And again, the 4B and the 4H are like mid-grade on either side of the graphite pencil scale. Darker value on this 4B. And then you'll see when I go to lay down the 4H, it's basically the same as the vellum paper. On this medium paper, it'll be a smoother effect. But again, you can lay down, I think, a lot more layers on the medium. You can see there how light it is on this medium paper. It's a very light pencil, but I like it. It gives me a more wide range of what I can do with this pencil. So this tends to be, I have like 3 4Hs in throughout the years. I tend to go through that 4H quicker than I do any other pencil. So there is the comparison. It's basically the same. In my opinion, on the vellum, it laid down darker, and I did apply the same pressure on both papers. And here's the blending demonstration on the medium. Pretty much the same. The difference would be I could go back and put another layer. I could do more blending. I could put another layer. I could do more blending. So it's just all in the pressure. You don't want to push too hard on, especially on a toothy paper, because you're going to ruin the tooth and won't be able to put down as many layers. So there's the side-by-side comparison. Not a lot of difference. And then here I am making just some notes so I can just look up and see which one I like better. This one tends to be able to blend easier, in my opinion. And then on the medium side, I would say it has more tooth than the vellum. So I will probably make that note. And then also it allows lots of layers. So then I will put here, it has more tooth than the vellum. And then that would just be the notes that I would keep handy for these 2 different kinds of papers. I keep them handy, look at them at a glance. I know exactly what pencil I want to use, what paper I want to use. Just makes life a little easier for me. So here are the different erasers that I use when I'm using graphite pencils. This is the Faber-Castell kneaded eraser. I keep it in one of my empty pan pastel containers because I want to keep it soft and pliable. And if it's just left out in the air for too long, I think it just tends to get a little tougher and harder. So I do keep it in a container. And here it is. It lifts up really easily. And again, on this medium paper, you do not want to have a heavy hand. Lightly touch it. You'll be surprised how much it picks up. And then I'm going to move over to the vellum. And basically, it's the same effect. A nice touch, light touch, not too hard. And it will pick up the graphite for you. You'll see me turning it around because just to get a clean part of the eraser. You do. I don't know. Maybe someone can let me know if the oils from your fingers transfer onto that kneaded eraser and then maybe doesn't mix well with the paper. I don't know. I've never really had an issue with it. Although you do want to kind of avoid touching the paper that you're drawing on, because I do know the oils from your fingers will leave a fingerprint. So this is the electric eraser that I use. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I use this a lot too. It's easy to use. You just glide it over. Don't push too hard. It'll do the work for you. And you can see there, it really pulls up the graphite. But again, you want to use a light touch. Don't want to ruin the tooth of that paper. It makes hash marks. I use it for blending. It's a great tool to have. Easy to change those tips too. And then sometimes it will leave like parts of the eraser on the paper, maybe a little graphite. Just use a soft makeup brush here like I'm using. Lightly brush it off. You don't want to push too hard with the brush. And that's that. Pretty easy. So there you go. We've got the vellum and we have the medium from Strathmore. That's what I use. Here's that scale. I use this a lot. Even though I've been using pencils for a long time, I still will refer to this chart. Makes it easy, quick. I can pick up the pencil I need. This is the basic set. I feel like this is really all anybody needs to use to make a graphite drawing. It has the basics. Goes up to 4H and 6B, I believe. And then here is the Strathmore Vellum again that we used in this demonstration. And then we have the medium surface Strathmore. And these are the two papers that I tend to use. There is also a smooth surface, which to me is a lot like the vellum. I don't even bother with it. I usually get the medium myself. So here's an example of blending stumps. You can find these on Amazon. They're not that expensive, and I don't recommend trying to sharpen them. It's just cheaper just to replace them. This is the electric eraser I used. Super easy to change out the eraser on these. And then, of course, the Faber-Castell kneaded eraser. Again, I would suggest keeping it in something so it doesn't get too hard. I hope this has been helpful. Leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see demonstrated, and I'll be sure to try to do it. Thanks for watching. Bye.